here. We're back again. We are back with a new show. We do it every single week. We talk about it every single week. The audio may be a little bit tinny. Would you agree?
Yes. Through the headphones, it sounds like anyway.
Yeah, so I'm going to say this is probably, in terms of rating in quality, what would you give it?
6.5.
6.5. However, the content's still going to be great, so do persevere with the tinny audio. Now, what we want to talk about is we're going to get straight into this one because we normally absolute jibber jabber about a load of rubbish. So straight away, what we find is people on their journey, whether it be you wanting to lose weight, you want to get stronger, you want to get fitter, you're expecting instant results in a few days, a week, 2 weeks, or even a month. And I find that quite tough as a coach because if you don't see the scales drop instantly, people see that as a failure for the week, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
and you're just making a point as well about a week is a short amount of time. You know,
short.
It's 7 days. You know, it's how many hours is it? You know the number.
168.
168 hours in a week. So that's not a lot of time to make progress. And a lot of people dictate for, in our kind of realm, you know, like a week's worth of weight loss. How much weight have I lost this week? And they weigh in once a week. And that determines how much progress they think that they've made and how that's going to make them feel potentially for the weekend or for the rest of the week, depending on when they're weighing in. But actually, we need to look at the long term in terms of progress. How much progress you are making over 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. How long do we sign people up for?
90 days. 90 days minimum. Sign on the dot. We've got you. We've got you for 90 days and you're not leaving. No. What the reason for the 90 days for us is actually we're really 6 months. But we understand that people, as soon as you say 6 months, 6 months seems like a million miles away. You're like, oh my God, 6 months. I don't know what's going to happen. You blink and you miss 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe how quickly it's gone.
I think we're already like 2 months already done in a year.
Exactly.
The year was yesterday.
Example, Invisalign. I've got Invisalign braces, 20 weeks. I'm already on week 8 or 9 already. Yeah. It was like week 1. You just blink and the time goes. So our biggest recommendation is stop thinking of fat loss or weight dropping on the scales as the only metric of success.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you do want to drop a dress size or a jean size or you want to lose weight, then obviously that is a metric you're going to follow. So I think it's crap when people say, oh, you know, you shouldn't weigh yourself. Because if your goal is to lose weight, it's the best thing to actually measure.
Yeah.
But measure how you feel as well. Measure how much weight you've lifted in the gym. Like, isn't it a good progression to be able to go, oh, I've increased my bench by this, or maybe I've increased my weight in lunges, or maybe I've planned my day out and I'm less stressed, or I've got more free time.
For example, I had a client in last night, and this time last year, she burst out in excitement, but last night she did, but she reminded herself that this time last year, she wasn't even able to push a 20 kilo barbell over her head. Now that's a lot of weight, especially for females. And last night she was pushing 27.5 kilos, 4 reps, 4 sets. So that's taken her a whole year to build up to that strength. And yes, granted, it's a massive amount of progress for her, but 7.5 kilos, people would expect to be able to gain that strength in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months. It takes time, you know, and if you're someone who, you know, is in it for the long-term game, the amount of excitement and joy that came out of her yesterday was just like no other, you know. It was tenfold, and the reason that was the feeling that she kind of felt and how she reacted is because she stuck at it. She's done the same things over and over every year. She's shown up each week. She hasn't got down about the fact that her weight has fluctuated up and down. You know, her weight hasn't changed massively since the start, but she's got stronger. She's become more resilient. She's got more focus when she's at work, and she's got more energy around her partner and her kids. So there's different metrics to follow, but just remember that that's a whole year gone by, and if you do stick it out, you will reap the rewards.
Is that what you tell like all the birds in the bedroom? Like, when they say,
just wait some time and practicing.
You're not very good in bed, and you go, well, track a metric.
I just
track just how you feel.
I just say plenty of practice, and I'll get there.
You could go.
The more practice we have.
Maybe I wasn't that good in bed. However, what I can do is I can shoulder press, and I've done a PB.
I can shoulder press not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming back to it, it's like you've got to remember that you're on a journey, and it's like for us doing our marketing course. So we pay, we have a coach, marketing expert, and we pay every single month. Now, we've been doing this for, tied in for 6 months, weren't we? I think we're on month 7, month 8 maybe?
Yeah.
And we've carried on, and I actually argue that we've got better every single month.
Yeah.
But we've learned a ton of stuff, but we're nowhere near to where, mastering it. However, we could have easily stopped at 1 month, 2 months. There was a point in my time when I was doing Facebook ads, and I just literally wanted to
nearly cried,
smash the laptop up.
Nearly cried.
Yeah, and I basically did nearly cry at a breakdown. But then I pushed through that. So if you relate that to your journey in terms of losing weight, maybe you've just hit this absolute wall and you can't get through it. The thing is, if you persevere and you are doing the right thing and you're listening to the right people, you will push through that.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's that kind of make or break. And you see that when it gets tough. You know the song, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, yeah.
I was going to say, sometimes the going gets a little rough by Ferric Dawn. I thought that's what you're talking about.
But if you push through that, you will push through that barrier. And I guarantee you now, we're in a much better position in terms of marketing, in terms of sales, in terms of how the business runs itself. Relate that to your journey in terms of fitness and health. You've got to keep pushing on and you've got to keep learning, but you also need to stick to the stuff you were doing day in, day out, which is tracking your calories, getting decent sleep, training regularly, getting steps in. Those things don't change. The other bits you add on are bolted on, but the main crux of what you do are those 4 things. Do those every single day for the rest of your life, you're onto a winner. The extra stuff, the extra little bits of added stuff, they're just little extras, but they're not the main thing that's going to get you in shape.
I think looking at us doing this podcast, what's it been? Nearly 2 years now that we've been doing this. And if you look back at our old shows that we used to post on Spotify, in comparison to what they are now, maybe not today, but, in general, the quality of filming is better. We're using this for different bits of content now. We're now upgrading, so the video that you'll be watching today is a completely new format as to what we're using before. We used to Facebook Live it. Before that, we used to go on Zoom with no microphones, no headphones. That's 2 years, and it's still getting better. We're still thinking of ways to make this better and improve. So it's not just the people who are starting off at something. It's the people who are already on their journey, maybe a year, 2 years, 5 years through. There's still stuff to be learned. There's still stuff to progress with. There's still things that can be better. And if you don't ever lose that kind of will to progress, then you're onto a winner.
And I'm going to leave you with this one. It'd be worrying if you think you've mastered it. Because when you think you've mastered something, that is when you've literally lost the plot.
Yeah.
Because no one is ever a master of anything.
No.
And once you think you're that point, that's the worrying thing.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you've mastered fitness, nutrition, your business,
take the next step.
Yeah, you'll come with a big shock because a year down the line, you'll literally go in cruise control and you don't want to go in cruise control. So always push on, always press on, keep reaching out, keep pushing it and smash it. That's all from us.
See you next week with some better audio.